So the Seahawks are going to be playing the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, and I must say, I am really nervous. Now, before I explain why, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification, hit the like button to help keep growing this channel. As once again, I'll say it, I reached over 1,000, and let's get it to maybe 10,000 someday. I know it's a little bit delusional. Anyway, so yes, Seahawks are playing the Ravens, and I guess it makes sense why the Seahawks did make that trade for Leonard Williams out of the New York Giants, who was a longtime defensive player. He played for the New York Jets and the New York Giants. But the Seahawks did give up about a second round pick, and it looks like it was a fifth round pick as well. So that does make me a little bit nervous since they are tinkering into the draft capital just a tiny bit. But knowing that the 49ers traded for Chase Young, maybe it does make sense that the Seahawks did make that trade so they can stay competitive in this NFC West division, which the 49ers are the ones that are causing the problems. And Kyle Shanahan tends to have the Seahawks numbers, I guess. But anyway, things to look forward to or to not look forward to is that Lamar Jackson is the quarterback. And the last time he did play against the Seahawks, he did beat the Seahawks by his own legs, which was unfortunate. And this season right now, he has 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He has 1,767 yards. He's on pace for 3,400, I guess. And he still has above 300 rushing yards. So I expect him to do some running on this one. And he's going to have to run away because the Seahawks do have somewhat of a decent defensive line. And you would think with the addition with Leonard Williams and Frank Clark, maybe that should be enough to at least contain Lamar Jackson. So he will be forced to throw. But however, the Seahawks are about maybe average on the passing defensive end. Now, let me take a look of how their passing is. So they are actually okay when it comes to passing defense. They are about in the middle of the pack, almost top 10. And for the Baltimore Ravens, they actually fare even better. So that's going to be tough for Geno Smith with his passing game. So I expect the Seahawks to run the ball more, maybe more of the Lamar Jackson and Zach Charbonnet. Because on the rushing end, where the Seahawks do pretty well against the run, they are one of the top 10s in the NFL, just behind the Cleveland Browns. The Ravens, they are just about in the middle of the pack for their rushing defense. So I do expect the Seahawks to at least run the ball and to try to get to Lamar Jackson. And hopefully, for the Seahawks' sake, they can win this game, go 6-2, and get 2 games on the 49ers. Since the 49ers do have a bye week. Now, let me just double check and see if that would be correct. So if the Seahawks did go 6-2 versus the 5-3, maybe not 2 games ahead. My math is terrible, but Seahawks will at least have another gainage on their division, which would be really nice because it does look like the St. Louis Rams, the Los Angeles Rams are pretty much out of it. The Cardinals are just openly tanking since they did trade away Joshua Dobbs to the Minnesota Vikings. So I think at this point, it's really just about who is going to win that division, the Seattle Seahawks or the San Francisco 49ers. And the 49ers been having their problems because Brock Purdy's been having his issues. But with them trading for Chase Young, that does definitely add the depth and star power to their defensive line. But hopefully for the Seahawks, where they added to their defense, they can be competitive for the division. And most importantly for now, try to beat the Baltimore Ravens in this game, because it will not be easy, because the Seahawks have had their problems against the mobile quarterbacks. They are the tough ones to go up against. But hopefully with the Seahawks running defense, maybe that could be an advantage for them. So hopefully, I will say this: keys to the game, run the ball, stop the run, contain Lamar Jackson as much as you possibly can to try to squeak out a victory, because the Seahawks, I believe they've only won 1 game in Baltimore in their entire history, and that was in 2015, where they completely obliterated the Baltimore Ravens, and that was the Russell Wilson game. And actually, let me just double check and see if that is actually true. So I'm going to look it up because I got to do the fact check so I don't look like a complete bubbling idiot about it. So let's get into it. So I'm going all the way back to like 1996. So at Baltimore, they lost a game. So that is 0-1. 98, did they play Baltimore that season? They did not. 99, did they play in Baltimore? Now we're just doing at Baltimore. And it looks like they did not do it in 99. 2000, did they play at Baltimore? No, they did not. And I remember that was the best Ravens defense of all time. And now 2001, did they play? No, they did not. So it was 2003 where they lost to them in the very controversial game from what I remember during the Holmgren era and the Sean Alexander, Matt Hasselbeck. And then you go to 2007 when they played Baltimore. So they've only won one game in Baltimore. So those were the two losses that they did suffer. So they play about a 500 ball against the Baltimore Ravens. So it will be, I will say, a challenging game, especially when Lamar Jackson is the quarterback. But hopefully the run defense, especially an improved one, you would think, can get to Lamar Jackson, at least contain him, or at least just stop the run in general. And hopefully Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker can step up and do big things for the Hawks. But those are my thoughts on this game. Those are my thoughts. And if you did enjoy this video, or if you fell asleep on it, hit that subscribe button, as we are just trying to take this channel to the next level, as I did achieve that level. But let's take that even higher. So, because I definitely want to keep doing this for a very long time, especially in the long run. But thank you very much for watching, and go Hawks.